GamingBolt presents 15 things you need to know before you buy A Way Out. Josef Fares may have become immortalized for his famous rant at the Game Awards, but he's also a guy who makes really good games. Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons was an amazing experience, and his next title, A Way Out, looks to be continuing in that vein. There's a lot about A Way Out that looks bold and interesting, and here in this feature, we're going to take a look at 15 such things. Without further ado, let's jump right in. The setup. A Way Out's story will focus equally on two different characters, Vincent and Leo. Both of them are convicted prisoners, and the game will see players playing as the two of them, work together and attempt to break out of prison. However, while that does serve as the game's starting premise, there's going to be a lot more to A Way Out than that. More than just breaking out. A Way Out will indeed see Vincent and Leo working together as they stage a prison break, but that won't be all of the game. Instead, it will only function as part of the story. Josef describes it as a small portion of the game, making up about 2 hours of it, after which players will continue to follow the two escaped convicts outside of prison as they stay on the run from the authorities. Co-op. What makes A Way Out so interesting is that it is a game with an absolute focus on co-op. You will have to play the game with a friend, either online or locally, with both players controlling each of the two main characters. Both Vincent and Leo serve as the two main protagonists of the game, with both of them having star billing, and neither one playing second fiddle to the other, so controlling the two of them in co-op gameplay should indeed be very interesting. Play through one purchase. Interestingly enough, though, in a move that is sure to please a lot of people, two people will be able to play A Way Out even if both of them haven't purchased the game. What this means is that if you've bought A Way Out and want to play it with a friend who hasn't, you'll still be able to do so. Both players basically will be able to play the game through a single purchase. Only split screen. Split screen gameplay has become a bit of a dying breed over the last few years, but it looks like A Way Out didn't get the memo. This is a game that will only have split screen. Co-op is obviously a big part of the game's hook and its very premise, and it's obvious that there will be an equal focus on the stories of both main characters, which is why the game is going with its unique and intriguing co-op only approach. No single player. And here's something to give you an idea of just how much of an emphasis A Way Out is putting on co-op gameplay. It isn't just a focal point of the gameplay, it is the only focal point. Yes, that means that A Way Out won't have single player, meaning that if you want to play through the game, you will have to do so with a friend, either online or with couch co-op. This may not sit well with some people, but given the very nature and concept of this game, it actually makes quite a bit of sense. Working as a team. Given its reliance on co-op, players will obviously have to work together on a number of things while playing A Way Out. Interestingly enough, each situation can be tackled in a number of different ways, with the players themselves deciding how to go about their objectives. For instance, in prison break situations, one player might choose to distract the guards, while the other makes the actual escape. Alternatively, both players go find another way to accomplish the same task. Cooperating between the two players will be key, but which player does what will be left completely up to the players themselves. Simultaneous progress. A Way Out is the story of both the main characters equally, and it will tell these stories in a rather unique and interesting way. Progression through both gameplay and narrative will occur for both players simultaneously, but they won't necessarily always be in the same location, geographically, or even in the same situations. This will lead to some very interesting moments. For instance, one player might be in the middle of a cutscene and the other in gameplay, both at the same time. It remains to be seen just how the game will manage this without letting it become confusing, but it's definitely got our curiosity piqued. Gameplay variety. Gameplay in A Way Out also promises to have quite a bit of variety. There's going to be stealth sequences, as you can probably imagine, given that it's a game that will see players breaking out of prison, but there will also be a lot more to the game beyond that, from action sequences to driving sections to even set-piece moments. The very premise of breaking out of prison and then staying on the run seems to encourage several different ways to play it, so it should be interesting to see how wide the variety will be in A Way Out. NPCs. A Way Out's apparently going to be a lot more interactive than you'd expect from a game being made by a small indie team. For instance, there's going to be a number of NPCs in this game, and you can interact with all of them, and you'll be able to do so via dialogue options. These will range from just idle chit-chat to making sure that they don't get in the way of whatever it is you're planning to do, such as robbing a store. NPCs might also, in some circumstances, act as hurdles to your plans, and in these situations, players will have a number of options on how to deal with them. Choice-based gameplay. As you may have gathered from everything we've discussed till now, the choice-based gameplay is going to be a big focus in A Way Out. The choices players make aren't going to affect the story, but rather they're going to affect the gameplay. Players will have various ways to tackle all situations, various ways to interact with the environments and the NPCs. The idea basically is to make the players communicate with each other and come up with different solutions for scenarios that they're presented with. No dropping out. This is another way that A Way Out makes it clear just how essential it is for both players to play an equal role in the game in every single aspect. This won't be a drop-in, drop-out experience, meaning that if one player logs out or exits, it will be game over. Both players have to be present in the game at the same time and working and playing with each other to be able to experience the game. It's bold and uncommon, but it's definitely an interesting idea. Emotional experience. Josef Fares' last game, Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons, was a deeply moving experience that hit a lot of the right emotional and storytelling notes. And though A Way Out is clearly a very different kind of experience, Fares and his team are still aiming to tell an emotional and moving story. It should be interesting to see just how well the game will manage to achieve those goals, especially given the fact that there's a lot of emphasis on action as well. Length will vary. We haven't heard anything from Hazelight Studios about roughly how long A Way Out will be, but Fares has revealed that the game's length will vary. Well, how is that so? Well, depending on what choices players do and do not make while playing the game, of course. Running and gunning your way through situations will sometimes be an option, which will make it shorter, while taking the less lethal route will obviously amount to more playtime. That said, given the fact that the prison break sections are about only 2 hours long, and have been described as only a small section of the game, we could probably expect a suitably long story. Xbox One X and PS4 Pro enhanced. Fares has also confirmed that A Way Out will include support for both the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X. So yeah, there will be enhancements in the game that will make better use of the hardware of the two systems. What is not yet known, however, is the exact details of just what these enhancements will be. Given that Hazelight is a fairly small studio, we're not expecting anything too stunning, but we are hoping at least for some significant improvements. And that about does it for this video. If you enjoyed what you watched and want to see more from GamingBolt, you can always hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell icon next to it. That way you will never miss any of our videos.